Okay, so just wanted to let you guys know real quick. When I was recording this section, the audio really screwed up. So I'm gonna do my best to record audio after the fact. So a lot of this is gonna be cut and edited and etc, etc. And I apologize. I really should have checked the recording, but I was so excited. Okay, so first game of the resolution is finished. Cherry Tree High. This is the last person that I need to join the club that you're seeing here. And I stopped everything and I opened up the recorder and I didn't check if the mic was loading. So basically what's happened is, like right here, 4:29, like the last 2 days of the game, I managed to get the 3 members I needed to complete this game and get a game plus. You only get game plus if you get a mediocre or good ending. So when I figured that out, like I was like 2 or 3 weeks in and I'd already screwed up with one character and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get all 6 characters because this is really bad. I was learning the mechanics and I screwed up really bad. But thankfully, because the last 3 days I've done nothing but talk to these 3 characters, like done nothing else but sit and talk to them. Thankfully, I was able to get these 3 girls to join the club, and so I did get Game Plus where I get to keep all my stats and things like that, which is great because I maxed out my video game stats so that I would be able to talk to 2 of these people. But anyway, what we're about to see is Haru, which in the English version is Cindy Smith, and she is a childhood friend of the main character. I'm not going to read all this out loud again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm probably going to cut to the end of this in just a moment. But basically, this game plays a lot like a dating sim, only with only friendship type scenes. There's no lovey-dovey scenes. There's no deep emotional connection. I mean, there is emotional connection, but it's not like boyfriend girlfriend. It's literally you go around and you find friends, which is okay. But for some of the things that you have to do, sometimes it doesn't feel very rewarding, and that's one of the downfalls of the game. But yeah, for a long time it felt like I was just grinding, and I was like, I want to get this done so I don't have to do it again. And when I realized that you have to get a mediocre ending in order to get Game Plus, I was like, I just wasted all of my time. I'm gonna have to do all of this again if I ever pick this game up again. So that's why I'm like super happy that my first time through I did get 3 of the girls, because if I ever come back to this game, and it won't be for a while because of resolution, but if I ever come back to this game to play and get the good ending, I'm so glad they have Game Plus. Guys, if you're a game developer, please do that. If you have this kind of game where you aren't expected to get everything in one playthrough, please do Game Plus, because yeah, this was a pain in the ass. This was a huge pain in the butt, and I really had to work very hard to get this far. I can't, like, I had to focus really hard, and considering that I work full time and I have other duties on the nest, and you know, with everything else that's going on in the world, this was difficult. So if you are an aspiring game developer, here's my tip for you. Game Plus. Make Game Plus, because that's very helpful in adding to replay value for your game. Yeah. So much happened during the course of this game. It's the new year. This is probably going up a couple of days after the first one, because the first one was honestly a whole lot to edit together too. I mean, I know it looks like one giant cutscene, but I had to stop and trim things, and like for what it was way too much work. Probably the people who made this game probably say the same thing. For what it was, this is way too much work. There's no voice acting anywhere in the game. There's no one who talks during the game, which is why I was reading through that monumental cutscene at the beginning. Kind of like this cutscene that you're seeing right now has no different sound to it at all. But essentially, it is a really good game. It's a really interesting game. It did fall flat at certain points. If you guys are going to buy this game, you know, be aware this is not an adventure game. This is not an exciting game. This is not an event game. Literally, there's grinding and the goal. And there's earning money so that you can grind some more and do the goal. And it's one of those things, it's kind of like Persona, where you have to work and get your certain stats up in order to increase a social link, essentially, between you and each of these characters. And that's all great and good, but at least Persona, I feel like if you had played Persona first, that's probably why this was so tedious in some places to me, because with Persona, not only is the game considerably longer, which, by the way, this game was the perfect amount of time for what this game was. Without any battle system or anything like that, this game did not need to be any longer. But, because I had played Persona and the Persona series first, it did fall a little flat in some areas where you were sitting there going for 3 or 4 days with no events, and you're sitting there wandering around trying to figure out what should I do today? Because no one ever approaches you. Or if they do, it's when they're higher up in the links. And so, yeah, basically you wander around and you trigger like mini events that don't necessarily actually do anything, and then you go through and you get cutscenes. And you get the cutscenes by raising up your skill level with different things you have to know about, different kinds of stuff. But yeah, you can see I finally persuaded Haru, who is Cindy in the English version, which means I have an entire club of comedy females, which is great. I definitely, for this round, I figured it would be easier to recruit all of the people that you have from almost the very beginning. I didn't recruit any of the males because it would have been slightly more difficult. And that's mostly because they all have different things that they prefer or like. If you study hard on something that a character dislikes and you talk to them about it, I think it actually lowers your chances of being successful even more. So I picked people that all of my repertoire stuff, yeah, you can see them right there on the screen, that those are the people that you have the option to get. And the one with the 5 is the one that I have. The ones, yeah, Yoriko or Sarah, Amane or Mei, and Haru or Cindy. And, yeah, I had to work really hard to get Amane because apparently right off the bat, I started screwing up and talking to her about things that she didn't like at all. So, my bad. But if every game that I play is going to be similar in frustration to this one, this is going to be a really hard resolution. So please stick with me. Leave a like if you want me to continue the resolution. If not, I'm sorry that I wasted your time. And thanks for hanging out with me this long. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be yet. Right now I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I did finish the first one. It's great. Because I've always been like a casual gamer, like I'll dabble in games, which I explained in the resolution video. I dabble in things, and I don't necessarily work really hard at games, don't focus really hard on games, don't focus on winning games. I think that's part of the reason that the guys get upset with me when I have the controller when we do the Nest recordings, and they try to be patient with me, they really do, but I'm not a progression type person, which is why this resolution is such a big deal. I'm not necessarily someone who likes progression. I like looking at the details. I like looking for all the little things that developers and creators might have dropped into the content. And you can see me kind of going through here and explaining how the relationship stuff works, but I'm not going to explain that again. If you like the game Persona, if you like the social links part of it, you want to play this game. If you didn't care for social links and you instead prefer the battle system and things like that, this won't be a game for you. You won't enjoy this game because it's literally all yeah, all social links, all just fun and games. And I just talked for 10 minutes about it. But anyway, thank you guys again. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this. It was hard for me to stick through this. So again, I know you guys sitting there and watching this, you got to feel some of my pain, and I appreciate for you sharing my pain. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the end. Hold on one moment. Okay guys, one last go around. Thank you guys for being here with me again. And you can see this is the final scene from this game. I completed game 1. Woohoo! It's official. The first game of the resolution is complete, is cut, and is done. So, next one. What are we doing next? I don't know. If you have any suggestions, head over to my resolution video and make a comment there. And if you liked this game, leave a thumbs up. And thank you for hanging out with the Nest. Please subscribe, guys, and show your support for what we're doing here. Bye!